Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Green Room Podcast. I'm Matthew Brune, and joining me once again is Colin Mitchell. Colin, we are no longer in the same city,
Yep.
not even in the same state anymore. Back in our home bases over here. Tired, you know, long weekends, but I've recovered, and I'm here ready to talk about North Texas in the NIT.
You sound like I did in the last podcast. Just very, very down.
I'm not down. I'm not down. I'm
Energy's low right now. I
I have
feel
my
it.
Mardi Gras shirt on.
Your shirt's not matching you, or
It's
you're not
impossible
matching
to
your
be down.
shirt. There you go.
Well, I'm very tired. I drove back to Baton Rouge today, but I did stop at the best boudin shop, or the best boudin. It's not a restaurant. I guess stop is a best stop shop, whatever you want to call it.
Mm.
The best boudin stop in the state, Billy's Boudin, and you'll see it right here. I have a receipt. You can't really see it, but
You hung up the receipt on the wall.
it's not the receipt; it's a sticker.
You... no way.
There it is.
All right, pepper jack boudin balls. Boudin,
Let me
boudin,
tell you.
boudin, boudin.
Let me tell you,
How do you say it
Colin. Now,
again?
don't pronounce the N.
Boudin, boudin.
You just pronounced the N.
Say it.
Boudin.
Boudet. Okay.
Okay, that's not what I said, but yeah.
That's exactly what you said. Okay. Anyways, let's move on. I
All
don't.
right. Let me put it back
Podcast
up.
ain't about the pronunciation of some Cajun food.
Look, now I'm out of focus. All right, we're back. Okay. Last podcast we talked about North Texas lost to UAB.
Yep.
Since then, UAB lost to FAU
Yep.
convincingly. I don't even know the final.
It was
but
something stupid.
It was a blowout. FAU. Congratulations to the Owls, the best team in Conference USA this year. If anybody was going to win the conference other than North Texas, I'm glad it was FAU. 100%. Best team in the conference. It makes the UAB loss, it makes me feel better about the UAB loss.
Yeah.
Even though I still think North Texas would have played FAU a lot closer than UAB did. FAU deserved it. I have no problem with I never have a problem with the 1 seed winning the conference tournament.
For
Because
sure.
they deserve it.
Yeah.
That was a great year.
78-56 win over UAB.
Yeah. So great win for FAU. Congratulations in the tournament. We're going to talk about the NIT draw in a second, but FAU got no favors in the NCAA tournament, playing Memphis in the first round in 8-9.
Who just beat Houston.
Memphis just beat Houston. Memphis, almost beat them a couple weeks ago at home. Very tough draw for FAU in the 8-9. So we'll see how it goes. Obviously, there's no such thing as an easy draw, even if they got a 10. But Northwestern is a 7. I would rather play Northwestern. Sorry, I'm just going through it in my head. But anyways, the NIT, Colin.
Yep.
The NIT we will hold off on doing a holistic, season overlook podcast yet, because like I told you off air, this tournament matters. This tournament, if they make the Final Four in this tournament and go to Las Vegas, it would matter. If they win it, obviously you hang the freaking banner, because if you win the NIT, that is an incredible moment for this program, and they will have to beat, in order to win this tournament, even make the Final Four. In order to do that, they're going to have to beat some high major programs that will further put them on the map.
Yep.
Now, let's talk about this draw. Let's talk about this bracket. Okay. I'm going to show the entire bracket first for people watching. I will zoom in because I know it can be kind of hard to read, I'm sure. I'll zoom in to the North Texas region, right? This is it. Here it is for those watching. We have zoomed in. Oklahoma State's the 1 seed. I believe they're the number 1 overall seed in the tournament. They play Youngstown State. Washington State plays Eastern Washington. Washington State is a capable opponent as a 4 seed, but I think Oklahoma State should be fine there. Then you have 3 seed North Texas playing Alcorn State, and you have 2 seed Sam Houston playing Santa Clara. Santa Clara out of the West Coast Conference. Sam Houston State finished second record-wise in the WAC, but a very, very good year for Sam Houston. They ended the season. Let me see if I still have it. Oh, no, I have Santa Clara up right now. Santa Clara finished 82nd in KenPom, for those wondering. Sam Houston State finished 69th in KenPom this year and has the number 21 defense in the country. I've watched a good amount of Sam Houston State games. For those who don't know, I mean, obviously I do the Dave Campbell stuff. So I watch, games from all the teams in Texas. Their defense is very, 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 very good. No other way to put it. They're kind of like North Texas in a sense that they don't have these like towering athletes, but they're awesome. Like they're just great defensively. 21st in defense. The difference is they're 148th in offense, whereas North Texas is obviously significantly higher in that category. They play 320th in tempo. That's the rundown of Sam Houston State. We'll get to them. Alcorn State as the first matchup, though, Colin. I tweeted out their schedule and I tweeted out, the matchup. For those who don't know, Alcorn State won the SWAC, or in the regular season won the SWAC 15-3 record, and then plays Texas Southern and Johnny Jones, who go on to win the tournament as an 8 seed. Texas Southern. They've now made 3 straight NCAA tournaments. So shout out to Texas Southern, but losing the first round to them, and it kind of just obviously puts a damper on their season. I'll pull up Alcorn's schedule. I don't need to pull it up to the screen. I don't think, no. But yeah, what do you think of this draw overall? For those, real quick, Alcorn State has beaten Wichita State, has beat Stephen F. Austin, but lost. Now I'm talking non-conference. Lost to UTEP, A&M Corpus Christi, Arizona State, Grand Canyon, Dayton, Tennessee, so on and so forth.
Yeah. I personally think this is one of the easiest draws in the whole tournament that North Texas could have gotten. Obviously, the 3 seed isn't something you'd like to see from a team that's 38th in the net, but it is what it is. CUSA we knew isn't respected, so I love the draw. I mean, Alcorn State, like you just said, they lost to Texas Southern. I think it's a game that should be, I want to say easily won, but you need to. It's the game that 70% chance you should win this game. And then I think that moving on from that, you have Sam Houston State and Santa Clara. I mean, equal. I mean, it's. I say this because look, you have Sam Houston State, Santa Clara, Alcorn, whereas on the other side of the bracket, you have Virginia Tech, you have Seton Hall, you have Yale, you have Vanderbilt, you have Michigan. I mean, Wisconsin, Florida, Oregon. Like those are other teams that you should be a lot more worried about in my eyes than Santa Clara, Sam Houston State, Alcorn State.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that yes, I'm not trying to say that these teams aren't good that North Texas is playing, but they don't have the pedigree that those other teams have had in the past, which in my eyes carries a lot of weight because, recruiting wise, right? Like most of the time, talent's better. Size wise, same type of thing. Big moment wise. I mean, all of these things factor into that. I mean, Wisconsin, for example, a few years ago, they were the favorites to win the whole thing. So
I think you're right. When I saw the bracket, so first I didn't see it. I think you told me people on Twitter.
I told you that they got picked to play Alcorn.
Yeah, you said they were picked to play Alcorn and that it was a tough draw. And I was like, okay. I knew Alcorn won the SWAC, but I knew they weren't like that highly rated. So sure enough, I look it up. Alcorn is the second lowest rated team in this tournament. And I believe, someone correct me if I'm wrong, I believe they're the only team, they're one of 2 teams not in the top 120 in KenPom. Let me see where UC Irvine lands. 99th. Yeah. They're one of 2 teams that's not in the top 125 of KenPom or so. The only other team is was it Hofstra? Or no, it was Morehead State, I think. One of those teams. The rest of the teams are all in the top 125 in KenPom. This is by far the easiest first round game you could have asked for.
Yeah.
Like, again, could Alcorn State be intimidating? Sure, they've beat Wichita State, they beat SFA, like they have some decent wins. But I've covered the SWAC to a decent degree. I'm not gonna say I've covered them full time, but I've covered them enough to know the quality of Texas Southern, to know the quality of Prairie View A&M, and to be able to base what I've watched off of that. Like,
yeah,
they're not at that level. If North Texas comes ready to play, they should win this game by 15 or more. At home. Remember, this is at home. That's another thing. They're hosting this first round game against Alcorn State. Yeah. It shouldn't be close. If this team, North Texas team, comes to play, it should not be close. Alcorn State is, I had this stat up earlier. Let's see. 352nd in 3-point percentage. 327th in 2-point percentage.
Yeah.
They are 244th in offense and 244th in defense in the country. Now, obviously, their schedule lowers that because KenPom takes into account schedule difficulty in their adjusted efficiency stats. But even if you just look at raw stats, 29.6% from 3 and 46% from 2. If North Texas plays defense how we expect them to, Alcorn should not break 45 points.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, and moving on too. I mean, so I believe Sam Houston State, I saw on Twitter, has a scheduling conflict with their gym, so that's why Santa Clara is hosting that. So I believe North Texas hosts regardless. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody. But I believe that's what it is. Moving into those two games, it's the same type of scenario. You're not playing a Michigan, you're not playing a Vanderbilt, you're not yet playing Washington State or Oklahoma State.
Yeah, here, let me cut you off real quick because I say Alcorn State and people are like, oh, okay, well, maybe it could be tough. Here, look at the teams they could have played.
Yeah.
Before we even get to the 2 seeds that they could have played, let's look at the unranked teams they could have played. Villanova.
Yeah.
Who got Cam Whitmore back, and they got I believe they have Dixon back. Like, they have the team that went to the Final Four last year. They were injured throughout the year. Like, they're getting back. UCF, quality team in the American. Bradley came in second to Drake, lost in the championship game. Yale was the number 1 seed in the Ivy League. Toledo beat UAB early in the year. Southern Miss was a really good team in the Sun Belt. It's kind of cool we get UAB Southern Miss in a Conference USA game. Seton Hall, Utah Valley, Virginia Tech. Like, the unranked matchup could have been so much more difficult.
Yeah.
So I'm going to thank Ren Baker. I'm going to go out of my way and thank Ren Baker because that's who I'm going to credit for this playing Alcorn State in the first round. There's no other way to explain it. Like, how does North Texas get the second worst team in the tournament?
That's true.
Ren Baker. Shout out to Ren Baker. So anyways, then we get to your point, which is the 2 seed being Sam Houston. I'm not 100% sure Sam Houston's going to win this game against Santa Clara. They could, but, who knows at this point. But Sam Houston, Santa Clara. Sam Houston's the 2 seed. The other 2 seeds here are Liberty, who I think is a good team. I don't think it's a great team. But then you have Michigan, Colorado, and then you go 3 seeds. Vanderbilt. I've watched
Vanderbilt beat Tennessee early in the year.
Yeah, Vanderbilt is a very good team. New Mexico, really good team. Wisconsin, like you said, Florida. Like, this draw to play Sam Houston State or Santa Clara in the second round is so much easier. Like, imagine if North Texas played UCF first round and then had the 2 seed of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
We'd be looking at UCF, Wisconsin, then Oklahoma State to make a Final Four. Right now, as currently presented, we are looking at North Texas having to beat Alcorn, which I would put North Texas as like a 13-point favorite in that game. Not even joking. Then you have Sam Houston or Santa Clara, 2 very, very capable teams, but I think North Texas is better. I'm pretty confident North Texas is better. Well, probably like 5-point favorites in that game, 4-point favorites in that game. Then you have Oklahoma State. Or Washington State, but you have probably Oklahoma State team.
Yeah.
And if they care about playing, Oklahoma State will probably win that game because Oklahoma State is a damn good basketball team that probably should have made the tournament. But still, you're in that game now, like playing 2 games where you're favored. I couldn't say that North Texas would be favored if they played Villanova. Like, I couldn't say that they'd be favored if they played Toledo.
Yeah.
I couldn't. New Mexico, Colorado, Cincinnati, those teams. I couldn't say they'd be favored. Right now, they're going to be favored, and I can't ask for anything more.
So with all that being said, what are you looking for out of this tournament? Because obviously they came last year. They came in last year and played this tournament.
Let me take this down. They need to win those two games.
Yeah, I agree.
They need to. I was thinking about this the other day, and I don't want this just to be me ranting the whole time, but I was thinking about this the other day. Is we're going to look back on this season and be like, damn, this was the highest ranked or rated North Texas team ever.
Yeah.
Like, where are they at in KenPom right now? 45th. They're 45th in KenPom right now.
Yeah, and they're 38
where
in the net.
They are in the net. Where
38.
are they? 38 in the net. We're going to look back on this team and say, damn, this is the highest rated team ever. Like, we need something that matches the metrics.
Not only that, this is the only team that's top 40 in the net that's not in the NCAA tournament.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. There's another reason. Like, we need something to hold on to about this season.
Yep.
Because what do we have to hold on to right now?
Nothing.
Like, what's the high point of this season so far? Tell me.
I feel like I couldn't tell you, I guess.
The double overtime UAB game?
I guess the 2 UAB wins, I guess.
The
But
UAB,
that's not something you want to hang your hat on for a team that's this. Like, you don't want to look at a regular season game,
well, especially since UAB
right?
beat,
Yeah, so
beat their
it's
butts in
just
the
wiped
tournament.
out anyways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I go back to that. I'm like, okay, they beat Grand Canyon in that game, like in Phoenix. I thought that was pretty cool, but that's not something I'm looking back on. Like, wow, like they didn't beat St. Mary's, like they didn't beat FAU either time. Like, what do we have to hang our hats on this season? That's what I'm asking. I think that's what Grant McCasland should be asking this team. It's like we have a great record, but what is our defining moment this season?
Mm-hmm.
To me, it has to be winning these two games. And obviously, the first one at home, I don't know about the second one, like you said. If it's at home, away, it doesn't matter. Win these two games, play Oklahoma State at Oklahoma State. Not a far drive for North Texas fans. They will show up if they get there. Play Oklahoma State at Oklahoma State and put on a show.
Yep.
Make it a game. Have a chance to win at the end. Have a chance in the last 5 minutes. Like that, if they do that, then I can look back in the season and be like, I'm happy. I'm really happy with this season.
Well, because then you fulfill what, like you said, the metric said about you, right? Everyone's saying, oh, it's Conference USA was disrespected. North Texas got a 3 seed. The whole thing. Well, show us now, because now you can, because technically you're the highest rated team in the net in here. Oklahoma State's 43rd. So I'm I'm not saying that Oklahoma State is worse than North Texas, but I'm saying North Texas is 38th for a reason, and you have to show that you're able to be that. Because if not, then there's no reason for us to be throwing around metrics thinking, oh yeah, North Texas got snubbed. So I think I'm looking for the same thing you are. Win these two games, go to Oklahoma State, and hopefully have a chance to win the game and prove that you are meant to be there.
Yeah.
Especially going to this new conference as well, because Memphis is staying. Memphis just beat Houston. Memphis will probably beat FAU.
Yeah.
So
like
that's a big deal.
Kind of funny. Memphis FAU is a AAC preview game for next year.
Yeah.
Think about it.
And not to mention, you have to also compare yourself against UAB. How does UAB do in this tournament? I mean, they're the 4 seed. They're playing Southern Miss, but it's the same type.
A tough draw.
Yeah.
Southern Miss and then Clemson back to back.
Clemson is crazy.
So, I mean, and then if they win that, they got to play Vanderbilt or Michigan or Toledo. This, I don't mean to keep harping on this bracket bet because some people don't care. This section right here
is crazy.
Vanderbilt against Yale, Michigan against Toledo. Very high quality basketball right there.
Yeah.
Very high quality basketball. So yeah, I think that's. I'm sorry, I'm looking up Toledo now. Yeah, Toledo's 87th in the MAC, or in KenPom. They beat UAB earlier this year. Yeah, I think that's the floor. I think you have to win 2 games.
Yeah.
You have to. If they don't win 2 games and they lose to Sam Houston or Santa Clara, I will be pretty disappointed. Like I'm not gonna say that's a disappointment of a season or anything like that, but it will be a disappointing into the season. Like, make no mistake about it. You cannot lose to Sam Houston, Santa Clara. Sam Houston got swept by Grand Canyon. Like, and this North Texas team beat Grand Canyon. I think that Grand Canyon win is good. Grand Canyon's in the NCAA tournament. They won their conference, the WAC. But like, you've already beaten Grand Canyon, who's better than both of these teams.
Yeah.
Like, I think they have to win these. So we'll see. Now, again, last year there was a question mark, I think, a little bit of like fatigue, remember? Because after the La Tech game where they have no depth and they got just completely beat down, they were very flat. They barely beat Texas State. Remember, they had to come back and win that game, I think, in overtime. And then they went and played Virginia, went to overtime and lost that game, where games they could have won. This year, I don't think I know they cannot use fatigue as an excuse, especially since you get Alcorn State in the first round. Like, Texas State last year was pretty low rated, coming out of the Sun Belt, but they were at least. Let's look up where Texas State was last year, because I'm willing to bet I think they were in the 150 range. Let me look it up real quick. 136. 136 in KenPom. That's where Texas State was last year. So, you get an easy first draw, and then you potentially play at home or on the road for the second one, and we'll see from there. But any specific players you're looking at that need to play well, or you just want to overall team performance? Does Abu need to play well?
I was just gonna say, I was like, well, they're singling out two players in my mind. Abu was one. I think Kai's the other in my eyes. Because you need to see them. Obviously, we know Tyler's going to get a lot of shots. I feel like most of the time when he doesn't make a shot, it's because that's the only player that most of the time that teams have. And we saw it against UAB. That was the only player for long stretches of the game that UAB had to focus on. So give other teams a reason not to. Mostly Abu though. We need to start seeing some shots fall. You can't go 3-9 again in a game like this. And then for Kai, I need to see some aggressiveness around the rim. I don't want to keep seeing the floaters go up. So
the thing about Sam Houston State, it's a great defense. Like I said, 21st in the country.
Yeah.
And I do think there is a chance they could lose their first round game, sure. But if they do play Sam Houston, who is 21st in the country in defense, who statistically is a better defense than UAB, the difference is UAB had the size to bother North Texas. They could put Eric Gaines on Tyler Perry. They could put Bruce. Was it Brewer?
Brewer.
One of the two. You could put Tony. All these guys. They have all these athletes that they could put on North Texas players and really bother them. Sam Houston State, while it's a very, very good defense, like I said, they are 328th in the country in average height. Their starting lineup goes 6'10", 6'7", 6'2", 6'2", 6'1".
Yeah.
Like there's no excuse to lose to Sam Houston, in my opinion. It's a good team. Should not lose to Sam Houston. Should not lose to Santa Barbara. And you kind of go from there. So we'll see. I want to see Abu play better. I think Abu will feast against Alcorn State. I think Abu puts up.
Yeah.
Abu, hot take. Here we go. Abu, 18 points.
18 points.
9 rebounds.
Okay.
There it is.
You just threw that out there like that.
18 points, 9 rebounds from Abu in the first round. And then, honestly, I think he should have a really strong game in the second round, too. I know Sam Houston has a big that they like. I forget his name. It's a long name. But Abu should lead the charge there. And then, because Tyler, like I've said before, Tyler is, in some ways, I think I said this last podcast, it's in some ways a product of everything going right for North Texas.
Mm-hmm.
When North Texas offense is flowing a little bit, or at least it's not dead in the water, Tyler Perry can make it even better. When the offense just can't be dead in the water against these teams. Like I need to see something spark me there. So that's all I got. You got anything else?
I don't think so. I just want to stress the fact that North Texas has to make it to the Oklahoma State or Washington State game.
What if it's like Eastern Washington and they host that game too? Madness. Well, if it's Washington State, they'll host.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love Ren Baker. Thank you. Thank you, Ren. So, we'll see. I love how our urgency has gone up as this podcast has gone on. It went from, this is an easy draw to they have to make it.
Well, it's because, like you said, what do you have to hang your hat on?
Yeah.
Right. And the way they lost, I mean, watching UAB go up on North Texas 20-2, like that just puts a sour taste in your mouth. And then to come back and basically have a couple open shots to possibly tie the game, same type of thing. So this is now your time to say we deserve to be with the guys, because Brittany and I are sitting here going like Alcorn State's a bad team, Sam Houston State's a bad team. We believe North Texas believes to be in the conversation with teams that are better than those teams, because the NIT is not like a CBI. This is a good tournament, but we think that they deserve. If everyone thinks they deserve to be in the NCAA tournament, you have to get to that Oklahoma State or Washington State game.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so they play on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. For the first game on ESPN Plus. I don't know when the second round games are. That'll probably be on the weekend, I assume, at some point.
March
Saturday.
18th, 19th. So.
Oh, didn't even see that up here. Good job, Colin. Good catch. So 18, 19.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, Saturday, Sunday,
right there.
Saturday or Sunday for the second round game. So we'll see how all that goes. And yeah, hope you all enjoyed the podcast. We changed our header. So now, Colin, I have the Green Room Twitter.
Okay, I didn't notice that. I'm glad. I am happy that you used it 2 podcasts late.
I don't know why you sent me a PSD.
Because I knew you had the ability to export that as a JPEG.
Yeah, but
no, I honestly just forgot. I'm sorry.
I clicked and I was like, "Why are these 2 JPEG?"
Well, it's because I put both in there usually, and I just forgot to do the JPEG.
Yeah. So, anyways, but we made it, And we'll see how the NIT goes. Leave us a like, comment, share, subscribe, follow us on Twitter. If you haven't already, we appreciate all the support over there. We will continue to tweet out content, graphics, videos, all that good stuff. Stay tuned as we continue. We're gonna get into football pretty soon here too.
Crazy.
We got some things lined up here. Colin and I are gonna sit down and plan.
For the first time in our lives.
No, hey, we used to be really efficient when we used to work together. We used to sit in that room.
But now we don't get to sit together. We do this.
I know. Well, we'll get on and we'll see how it goes. I'll get some Billy's Boudin and we'll get to work. Get to hammering it out.
How far away is that place from you?
It's in Lafayette. It's an hour. I stopped on the way in. I was eating it in the car. It's funny. I'll send you the picture. I was eating it in the car. I took a picture of one of the Boudin balls, and let's just say the car was still going, and I took the picture. And you see the speedometer in the background. I'm not gonna say how fast I was going. Not that fast, but
Brune drives fast.
That's not true. We had to get to the wedding, Colin. I don't know what you wanted.
You're driving back from the wedding.
Well, you were. I don't know how you remember anything about that night, Colin.
Okay. Story time with Colin.
No, we don't. All right.
No. This is about me blowing wax in my eye on accident.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
I thought it was a good story.
It's all right. It's too long of a story. I'm tired, Colin. I'm going to sleep.
Okay.
We'll see y'all
next time.
Next time.